Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the Curse Hollow. The idea of the map is pretty simple. Collect some tributes, curse your enemies, cursed forts and minions cannot attack, and cursed forts and keeps will not attack, and minions are reduced to 1 hit point. That's how it works, this map, guys. Let's get ready to rock and roll. First match of the evening, WePlay HOTS Invitational. I'm tackling your shoutcaster. It is Mousesports against Team Refuse. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. At least assuming we load into the game. The servers have been having some hiccups, some more often than not, so we hope to actually get ourselves going pretty fast. And it looks like we have no sound. Where's the sound? Let's hope that we can get some sound in.
For battle.
Yes, here we go, sound. It's very quiet, unfortunately, so yeah, you guys will most likely enjoy the sound. I'm hoping that the sound will eventually not crowd out my voice. That would be a little bit unfortunate, but, well, we can't really do anything about that.
4, 3, 2,
but we'll find out soon enough. I'm just going to keep my eye on Kitagash, hoping that it will work for now. Kitagash immediately moving towards the watchtower. Both teams going to take those. And Mirrodin, correction, Scene, Pony and Starzerk waiting here. Try to get the hook into this brush here, but no such luck for those guys. For now, everybody moving into their respective lanes. Faster than top lane. Brightwing in the bottom lane. Rainer in the middle lane for the team of Refuse. And actually, I'm missing something here. I need to actually put up the overlay. It's Mouz in the blue trunks, and it is Team Refuse in the red ones. Green standing to the side here, wants to get the kill into Kitagash. Kitagash has to be a little bit careful here that he doesn't get taken out by a root. But fortunately, it is a Felstead after all. He has a barrel roll. Now Starzerk and Green are going to be running straight into each other. There's the fight breaking out. Noise taking quite a bit of damage. Pony now coming in as well from the side here. Here's the Psionic Storm. But you can already see the damage that has been nerfed a little bit here. Scene now getting jumped on. Noise and dangerously low. They're trying to take one of them down. Envenom on the Scene isn't quite enough. And everybody falls back. Oh, from the rear though, it's Kitagash. He's left alone, and it is a kill in favor of Team Refuse. First blood going over to the red team.
The light shines on us all.
For now though, it's fortunate that Kitagash of course has the flight ability. Will be jumping straight into the lane to not lose any experience, or rather not lose that much experience. Carry on now in the bottom lane. Might be in a little bit of a dangerous situation here. Here's the root, but he has the speed, so he will be able to just jump out there alive. And hopefully we'll have to take a quick look at the sound. If it is too loud, make sure to let me know in the stream chat. I can fix it. It will take 2 minutes to take effect, and then another 2 minutes to actually fix it. But hopefully that won't be necessary, because, well, that's the way the stream works, ladies and gentlemen. For now though, Carrion and Arkham, they're just dealing with each other. Just a little bit of farming here, but even with all this said and done, and the first blood of course going over to Team Refuse, it is Mousesports who at this point have a small experience lead, but Team Refuse is in a good position to take this first tribute. And now with the tribute having spawned, it was Starzerk and Scene. They have moved themselves away from the top lane down to the bottom lane. There's a root coming out, hit both Starzerk and Scene. They're just trying to stop the tribute from happening. Grimskull using a Psionic Storm, long range, to just stop the tribute. And this is also something to keep note here. Curse Hollow tributes now take 6 seconds to channel rather than the 7 from before, so you have to be a little bit faster here. Green now going in, he's going to get locked up. Nice, now jumping in as well. Nice, taking quite a bit of damage. He gets shield from Tassadar. Now Starzerk trying to get out there. He will survive, but just barely. He has his Envenom on him, but he will actually survive this one. Illidan getting taken out. He took a little bit too much damage there. Kitagash has nowhere to run. Green now in a lot of trouble. He's going to get taken out. They're trying to turn their attention over to Arkham. Arkham now going down. Kitagash dangerously low, will fall. And now they're on to Conus. Conus down to half hit points. He doesn't really have anywhere to go at this point. He doesn't have any jumps left. And now he's brewing up a storm, but can't really make that one happen. And at the same time, it is still Grimskull who's... Oh, the hook onto Grimskull. Grimskull, yeah, he's forced to fall back here. And the tribute has been taken control of by Mousesports. Team Refuse just trying to delay the tribute, but it's not going to work. And it's, of course, the first tribute of the game going over to the team of Mousesports. Top lane, a little bit of fight breaking out. Kitagash in green. Green so low. One more hit, that's all it takes. But Kitagash can't get into position due to the fort. It slows him down. Now Konas, he's coming in. He has the fire breath. But nothing comes out of that, and Kitagash just runs back to base. Now that we have some time, we can take a quick look at the talents that have been picked up. Brightwing, regenerated range, protective shield, and the Bribe, of course, Stitches with the double slam combo, as well as the Tenderizer. Falstad has himself a lot of additional damage, the Boomerang as well. Raynor, searing attacks. He's going for a full-on damage build as expected. Muradin with a lot of his Thunderburn abilities, as well as an additional target hit by the Piercing Bolt. On the other side is Uther with what looks to be the Clairvoyance. Tassar with increased range, I believe, on his he has Overload, increased range, as well as the Static Charge, but this time it only deals 75% damage, so it isn't all that effective. Towers taking quite a bit of damage here as Noisen goes straight onto Starzerk. Starzerk biting a piece out of crime here as he numbs Noisen. That gives him back just enough health to survive this entire fight. And getting himself into position to go back to base, get himself a little bit of healing, and then retreat over to the tribute area, which is about to spawn. Tribute area in favor, of course, of the team of Refused, as they control the watchtower nearby. However, they have to deal with their opponents, who have already picked up all of their heroic abilities. Blink Heal, Putrid Bow, Shock and Awe, Rainer's Raiders, and of course the Haymaker. So the Haymaker is going to be very important in the fight to get Illidan out. I think that Muradin is the perfect counter in this regard. Illidan comes in with his transformation and you just say, stop! Hammer time! Take him out, instant kill. For now though, the push in the bottom lane, 5-man push here. As Mousesports decides, well, we want it all and we want it now. Refuse decide to counteract this entire thing with a Grave Golem in the top lane. We might have a little bit of fight breaking out in the bottom lane, just because they know, okay, we have to push as hard as we can. It looks like even with the Grave Golem, Team Mousesports is able to take down the fort in one go, get himself a lot of experience. However, this Grave Golem is already doing a number on the gates. The gates are down, the towers are down as well, the well is down. And Mousesports has to make a decision here. They're sending in Kitagash for a long range, actually going to get a double bribe. There's Brightwing coming in with her ability. This fort is going to go down. The Grave Golem so powerful in this regard. So Refuse getting the upper hand here in terms of lane pressure. Starzerk now coming in, slows down Noisen. Noisen doesn't really have anywhere to go. He does have his ultimate available, but this is a 5-man. Jump straight onto Noisen. Noisen in a lot of trouble. There's a transformation onto Pony. Pony has already popped his Raiders. Now Carrion is coming in as well. There's so much damage you can put down. The ultimate for Falstad misses, actually hits 2 or 3 members. I wasn't entirely sure, but it was more than enough to take them down. Now they're onto Grimskull. He gets taken out as well. Stitches is still alive, but finally falls. And now they're onto Arkham. Arkham taking more than enough damage to take him down. And it's a 3 for 1, as it turns into a 4 versus 2. Konas will be popped out of his ultimate pretty soon. And also, this tribute is going to go over to the team of Mousesports. If they rotate immediately down to the Grave Golem, they should be able to, well, at least add to their pressure. Speaking of adding to the pressure, Kitagash moving into the middle lane. Brightwing coming in as well. A lot of damage being put down here with the Hammerang as well as the Arcane Barrage. And a 3-0 victory in terms of tribute for the team of Mousesports. A lot of damage being put down here. Illidan in a lot of trouble. He does have the regeneration jump straight over to Scene, right back to his buddy here. But Scene is like, okay, I'm out. Don't want to be fighting here. And at the same time, Starzerk and Apony have already started to pick up the Grave Golem in the bottom lane. Kitagash now joining in. This Grave Golem is going to go over to Mousesports. Actually, where is it? Mousesports might actually pull away from the Golem. Golem taking a little bit of damage here. Team Refuse, they have to be a little bit careful here because they might start They might lose their well in the middle lane if they're not careful. There's the well going down. Now Konas, he gets locked up. Trying to get onto the Grave Golem. Grave Golem has been taken over. Now Konas in a lot of trouble. The Shockanaut takes him down. Now they're onto Arkham. Arkham getting slowed, getting hammered, getting everything, and the kitchen sink tossed at him. As the curse finally, well, expires, but the top lane fort is already pretty low, and Team Mousesports is doing their best to put as much pressure onto Refuse as they can. They have a Grave Golem with them. They should be able to at least push these towers, because these towers, and actually the gate has already been taken down by the minions here. So that's already a pretty big win here for Mousesports. Bribe has been used as well by carrying onto these golems here. So it's now actually double golem. Oh, Green gets hooked! Green in a lot of trouble. He's trying to get out there, but he gets polymorphed, immediately gets popped. And now the push continues. Mousesports on a rampage here. They are in a big lead when it comes down to kills. They are in a big lead when it comes down to map pressure. Levels as well. And such a strong play here by Mousesports. They're going to take down this keep with ease. This Grave Golem might even go straight towards the core if they so desire, but they decide, well, this is most likely going to be enough. I'm going to actually put down some pressure onto the core. The core already doing some damage to the Grave Golem here, allowing the team of Mousesports to actually go in. Here's the transformation from Illidan. Okay, the guy, he's falling back. Noise in a lot of trouble. He's taking quite a bit of damage, and his team is nowhere to be found. And now the turnaround with the Divine Storm coming out of Uther, which was trying to stop Mousesports from turning the fight up on top of its head. But it is Konas who jumps onto Stitches. Starzook is going down. Konas now turned into his ultimate. A 3 Panda fight here. They're trying to take down Scene, but it isn't quite enough. At the same time, though, there was enough damage put down to the core to at least take it down by 7%. And a very good fight here for Mousesports. Okay, they lost 2 members, but they got a keep and they got the core. So not all is lost. Kitagash, he has to double bribe. Just going to take up the siege camp here, and most likely Mousesports going to start rotating towards the top lane.
I must have it.
And this is pretty lucky for Mousesports. The tribute also spawning right in the direction where they wanted to spawn, which means that they are going to be able to pick this one up easily. Kitagash already starting to clear out the wave a little bit here. If he wants to make the wave grow, he should just slow down the wave enough for the mercenaries to deal some damage. And we can have some pushing going here. Now, Starzook runs straight into the enemy team, but he's pretty tanky here. He's trying to get out of there. There's a Valbell coming out as well. Starzook just gets popped. He might be tanky, but a 5-man engage on top of him is not going to be enough. The mercenaries, though, in the top lane are already pushing in. So Refuse actually has to do something about it. As in the meantime, it was Kitagash who sneakily snuck the tribute out from under Team Refuse, refusing them to get any tribute at all this game. Mid lane now, a big push here by Team Mousesports. Fort already taken down to half hit points. Mousesports in a pretty bad position here because they're out. They don't have their stitches, so they don't really want to be fighting here. Nice push there by Pony, making sure that Noisden can't make anything happen with his transformations. That one is gone. And Scene with his, I believe it was the Thunder Hammer? Haymaker, there we go. Able to actually do the same thing if needed here. So, tribute spawning. Also another fort going over to the team of Mousesports. Let's take a quick look at the talents before the next tribute gets fought over. Sticky Powder, Pulverize, Overdrive, Bullseye, and Heavy Impact coming out of the team of Mousesports. Speaking of the team of Mousesports, they're completely ignoring the tribute, just deciding, well, we want this Grave Golem here. Mousesports rather Refuse should know that this is happening, so they are going to be moving towards the top side. But at the same time, they know they really don't want to be fighting here because they are behind 2 levels. They're going to see that the Grave Golem is getting taken down. Arkham are moving in. They're going to try and get the stun onto Carrion, but Carrion has his blink heal. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I don't think it was his mount button. But certainly, it is a lot of damage that the team of Mousesports is going to be doing with this Grave Golem. It's the same situation as before, but this time the gates are still there. Grave Golem now dealing some damage to the gate. Gate getting a shield there from Tassar, but the rest of Mousesports is already hammering down onto these towers. These towers are going to be running out of ammo, but not before they die, so they did their best. Now the talents have actually equalized because the team of Refuse was able to get themselves level 16. But Mousesports on the keep down to 50% in just a few seconds. That's going to allow Mousesports to continue to push here. A lot of damage being put down, keep goes down, and that means that another one of these lanes is going to be pushing in favor of Mousesports. Refuse with the final engage here. Starzerk in a lot of trouble. There's a beautiful Divine Storm, but Starzerk is tanky enough to actually survive all of this. Transformation coming in from Illidan as well. They're trying to get the assassins, but they can't really get there. It's just not enough damage. They have the tankiness, but they don't have the damage. Illidan goes down. Now Konus, he only has 2 of his pandas left. 1 of his pandas. Now he only is himself. He's going to get taken down. And that's a 2-for-0 in favor of Mousesports with a Grave Golem that actually took down the keep. The Grave Golem was taken out, but Mousesports should now be able to actually take the top tribute as well. So this is a very good situation for Mousesports in this first game of this best of 3. Bottom lane, Kitagash has already teleported in. The Boomerang coming out. He's trying his best to actually take down these golems before they do all too much damage to the base of Mousesports. But with the help of Carrion, that should be no problem. Now on the other side, the Grave Golem has respawned for the team of Mousesports, and they should be able to pick that one up without the interference of Team Refuse. They can't really stop it from happening due to the fact that, well, they're behind 3 levels. That's pretty much unovercomable. Maybe 2 now, but still. That's going to be a huge golem in the bottom lane. And also, something I just noted, the night camp is now called a bruiser camp rather than a night camp. So this is an interesting name here. And the siege giants have turned into the siege camp. So that's something to keep track of. Immediately, I like what the team of Mousesports is doing. They're countering out the vision control that Team Refuse had. They're going to let their golem push in the bottom lane. The golem actually drawing all the mini minions into the lane. And now with the tribute there as well. What does Mousesports want to do? They can go for the tribute, but they can also just say, okay, well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we have a Grave Golem, we're on your core. And the Grave Golem is still at full hit points. Starzerk taking up a little bit. Here's the fight breaking out. Starzerk, he's getting focused down, but he's tanky enough to actually survive it long enough. Now Pawnee trying to get out there. He has his regeneration still active, so he will be able to get out there. Divine Storm only hitting Starzerk. He gets taken down, but the Grave Golem is already doing a number on the core. Noisen jumping onto Pony. There's Shock and Awe. It's a 4-man Shock and Awe. That was a beautiful ultimate there. And now Arkham going down. That's the end of Uther. Green trying desperately to stop Pony from getting out of there. Same goes for Kitagash and Konus. But Konus trying to stop Kitagash from getting out of there. But Carrion link heals over to Kitagash. And that's a... well, that's actually an escape there. At the same time, a 48 health core now for the team of Mousesports. And it looks like Team Refuse might be going to be losing this one. However, oh, Illidan actually went in a little bit too deep. Not entirely sure where he died. Ah, that's where he died. Now the push continues. The shield is actually regenerating pretty fast, so if Mousesports is able to actually stop the shield from regenerating, that would be pretty nice at this point. 48%. A 4 versus 2 situation might turn into a 4 versus 3 situation. Now they're on to Tassadar. Tassadar gets taken out, and this should be game. It's Mousesports taking down game number 1 in this best of 3 against Refuse. It's bringing themselves one step closer to the playoffs. Shire, once again, welcome back to the WePlay HOTS Invitational. Winners take home 500 euros, 300 euros for second place, and 200 euros split between third and fourth place. I am TechLink, I'm your shoutcaster for tonight, and we're going into game number 2 of this best of 3 between the team of Mousesports and Team Refuse, with currently Mousesports leading 1-0. So they already have one hand on the next round. They just need to pull it in completely and push Refuse over the edge. On the other hand, it isn't over yet. Refuse has the ability to immediately jump back into the game, or rather into the match, by just winning this game. They have a very curious setup, but well, let's see how that one plays out. So, on the blue side, we have Green playing on Tassadar, Konus playing on Chen, we have Arkham playing on Uther, Crimskull playing on Zagara, Noisen playing on Abathur, and on the red side, the side of Mousesports, we're looking at Kitagash on Falstad once again, Carrion on the support role as Rhaegar, and in the bottom lane it's Starzerk on Artis, a Pony Well, not on the pony, but on the tank. And finally, it is the one, the only Scene playing on what looks to be Muradin. Yeah, it's Muradin. So Starzerk, and Starzerk this time not playing Stitches because that one was banned out. And oh, Grimskull running straight into Starzerk. There's the roots. The Venom Mine's coming out as well. There's so much damage you can put down here. And that's the end of Zagara. No chance for her to even survive this one. And immediately Mousesports, they pick up control in the bottom lane. A lot of damage being put down here already onto these minions. A very big push here just to ensure that they get the Dragon Shrines as soon as they awaken. It takes a little bit of time. They will activate in 30 seconds, but if they can get the map control right now, they can translate that into a huge win. And also, that's something interesting here, that they don't put Tassadar in the middle lane. Tassadar in the middle lane can spam those Psionic Storms from very, very, very long distance, and pretty much prevent the Dragon Knight from actually being captured here. So, I'm kind of curious as to how that works out. So, Shrines are up. A little bit of a fight in the top lane. Kittigash getting pushed in. But bottom Shrine going over to Mousesports, and of course top Shrine going over to Team Refuse. Starzerk now in a little bit of a mess here. Has to heal himself. Has to fall back. Uther actually coming in from the middle lane. That's going to cost him a little bit of experience. And Starzerk and Pony are just going to get themselves a little bit of regeneration. Now, bottom side of the map. Grimskull and Green, they're going to be picking up this little shrine here. And Grimskull needs to be a little bit careful here. Steen wants to get into position. He has his hammer for the stun. They're already moving onto the shrine. Shrine now deactivated, so Uther is no longer a threat. Seen walking out of the fight, and is going to just get himself a full regeneration off this regeneration fountain. And now again, there's the Dragon Knight in the hands of the team of Refuse. But they can't really get Uther onto the platform because Arthas is there to stop him from doing that. Fight continuing in the bottom side of the map as Seen, Pony and Carriot are fighting off Green and Grimskull. They can't really get their domination here at this bottom shrine, and maybe that's also what the team composition coming out of Refuse was aimed at, just forcing them off the shrine by long range pushing. Pony now taking quite low. He has to fall back, doesn't have the regeneration fountain, so he's going to just sit back behind his walls, just going to use the AoE damage to clear out the minions with ease. Starzerk now back to the middle lane. And dealing some damage here. Arkham now also taking some damage. The hammer dropped down onto Starzerk. Starzerk trying to turn it around, but there's so much healing coming out of Arkham. He can't really do all that much against him. Okay, he popped the Envenom, but when all is said and done, it isn't all that much. So this is kind of a stalemate here. You could say it's a Cold War. Bottom lane, still the push continues. Seen now taking quite a bit of damage. He's taken pretty low. He's going to get quite a bit of regeneration from his passive now that it actually got improved to 50%. If you're below 50%, if I'm not mistaken, you get additional healing. And it's quite severe. We're going to be looking at the talents pretty soon, but the push coming out of Green and Grimskull is pretty high. There's the stun onto Green. Green using his E, trying to get out there. Dimensional Rift is more than enough to get out. Pony going dangerously low. The shield isn't going to save him. Sized Hammer goes down. Now they're onto Grimskull. Grimskull out of mana. He does have this support coming out of both Green and Noisen. But all this is enough to at least allow Seen and Carrion to take back the Dragon Shrine and relieve some pressure onto this mid lane. I like the fact that Avatar actually picked up a mule again, so that this wave is not going to be dealing all that much damage to the towers. But it might hurt him later on in the game. If the mule isn't going to be effective. There's a stun to Grimskull. Grimskull can't really get out there. Seen dealing so much damage. The Psionic Storm is not dealing all that much damage. The Healing Ward coming out from Seen. And they pick up the Dragon Shrine in the bottom lane. As they also pick up a kill, so very well played here by Mousesports. Green now coming in, pops the Psionic Storm to Pony. Pony moving into the lane. And also a new thing here is that the Bruiser camp has been moved to the bottom side of the Dragon Shire, so that you don't get that 6 siege giant push, because that was a little bit much to deal with actually if you're not in if you don't have the ranged heroes to deal with it. Top Shrine now getting taken by Falstad. That's going to allow Artis, Starzerg, to take the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight in the hands of Starzerg. They were a little bit too late with taking over the Dragon Shrine. And now it's Starzerg who is going to be moving towards what looks to be the bottom lane for a 4-man push. Smart move here. They're going to get their heroic abilities pretty soon. There's the heroic abilities. Let's take a quick look at what they take. Napalm Strike, Army of the Dead, Shock and Awe. Meridian can't really take anything. I'm expecting the Haymaker coming out of him. Ancestral Healing and, of course, the Haymaker as expected. So, a 4-man push in the bottom lane with the Dragon Knight. This turret is going to fall pretty fast. The wall has already gone down. Now they're onto the second turret. The Mule is taking quite a bit of damage, but it's quite tanky for what it does. And this tower is going to go down. The walls are going down. The Mule's going down. The gate has gone down. And a nice push here. Now they actually find Arkham. Going to get a kick here. Dunk! Starzerg getting a nice field goal by pushing him to the other side. Starzerg now going to just use the time he has left on his knight just to smack down these towers. He knows 2 seconds it's going to go down. Explosion is probably going to take care of the remainder of the tower. Well, and if that doesn't work, then you just use the auto attacks. A little bit of a quick pause there. The firing mark coming up, a little bit of damage there, but the Psy Storm isn't going to be even close to enough to deal with the team. And now a 4 versus 4 fight in the bottom lane. Felst is still fighting with Shen. There's another Devouring Maw. That was quite interesting. That was 2 in a row. Oh, that was actually the ultimate evolution coming out of Abathur. So that one was already used. Now they're going to try and deal with the clone. The clone has already expired. Now they're onto Green and onto Arkham. Green is now out of his Arkham form. He's going to use the Dimensional Rift, trying to get out of there. He's taking quite a bit of damage there and is able to fall back behind his fort. So damage control activated. Let's just keep it at that for now. Mousesports, they turn it around and they get themselves in a pretty decent position here. Starzerg moving into the middle lane, going to deal some damage to the Mule. Mule's on the wrong side of the wall again, so it is going to get taken out. Smart move by Starzerg. He notes that it is there, immediately takes it out, and so make sure that the Mule can't be as effective as he would like it to be. So let's take a quick look at the talents. We have some time. Conjurer's Pursuit, Protective Shield, Clairvoyance, Divine Storm, Psi Infusion, Healing Ward, Static Charge, Arcan, Devouring Maw, Rapid Incubation, Envenom Spines, and Demolitionist. Chen going for Deadly Strike, Chug, Pressure Point, and Storm Earth Fire. Ultimate Evolution, Mule, Promote, and Survival Instincts for Abathur. And on the other side, well, actually a little bit of damage here put down onto these towers, as we might have a fight in the bottom lane. Before I want to actually look at the other talents here. We have a little bit of time. Rhaegar, Ancestral Healing, Shield, Chain Healing. Actually, fight breaking out? Still not. So close, so close. Shrines are going to get into effect pretty fast soon. Pretty fast though. So it will be there in just a few seconds. There's a lot of damage already being put down here. So Arkham, the Divine Shrines, rather the bottom shrine now in the hands of no one. Carrion taking so much damage. There's a stun. Rhaegar actually went down in one go. That's a little bit unfortunate for him. The ultimate evolution has already been popped. Hasn't been popped? No, it hasn't been popped. Green now in a lot of trouble. He uses his Dimensional Rift to try and get out there. Starzerg blocking the way for Green. Seen so dangerously low. The Venom is going to take down Zagara. And at the same time, the Frozen Wastes coming out of Starzerg are going to be able to take down Tassadar. So, nicely done here by the team of Mousesports. They turn a bad situation into a good one. And a little bit unfortunate, of course, when it comes down to the team of Team Refuse. Little bit of damage being put down here onto the tower, onto the fort in the middle lane, in the bottom lane, down to 50% health. You can already see the Napalm Strike coming out. Nicely done by Starzerg, immediately taking out the mine. The pony, together with Starzerg, should be able to easily take down this fort. That's the end of the fort, and immediately rocketing out of there. Gives us a little bit more time. Bullet Mines, Napalm Strike, First Aid, Maelstrom Shells, Advanced Artillery, Bribe, Gathering Power, Boomerang, Shock and Awe, Rewind, Meridian of course going for the Burning Rage, Haymaker, his Piercing Bolt, Thunderburn, Reverberation, there we go, Artis with the block, Envenom, a little bit of damage being put down on the map. I believe Artis is going a little bit low, but doesn't really Matter for now. Rune Tap, Army of the Dead, and of course Relentless. Starzuk now trying to get after. He still has his Army of the Dead. He's getting well, he's getting boxed in. He's getting sandwiched. He's getting turned into a nice snow cone. Do you want to build a snowman? Well, the Lich King says no. Kidagash now waiting next to the Bruiser camp. He's thinking about actually taking it, but decides, well, we're just going to fall back. We're going to defend against the enemy Bruiser camp, and then maybe later fight against the team of Refuse. And Refuse has to be fast here, because at the bottom side of the map it's Pony who is just going to be smacking down onto the fort. Speaking of fort, fort is going to go down top lane as Refuse is going to take down one of Mousesports' forts. But the hammer is already being brought down onto the gate, onto the towers. The siege golems are there. Oh, correction, the Bruiser camp is there as well. Of course, Bruiser camp now being picked up for the team of Refuse in the top lane. But it looks like they're just going to try and delay it. I like what Mousesports is doing here. Pony pretty much left unchecked to deal as much damage as he can to the keep. Actually, it's down to about half hit points, and Pony is now going to just get out of there alive, or at least going to try. Konus coming in from the side, using his kick to get a little bit of movement advantage. And only thing a Pony can do right now is just well, at least survive. And maybe bait a little bit more. Top shrine has already been taken over by Mousesports. Pony's still moving in, going to just toss out the Napalm Strike. And at the very least, took a little bit of time off Team Refuse. Now Carrion, he's getting knocked up by Konus. Konus now finally popping his ultimate. Carrion still trying to get out of there alive. Starzuk getting body blocked by Konus. Very well done there. And now they're jumping straight onto Starzuk. Starzuk in love trouble. He still has his Army of the Dead. He is going to probably survive this one. And a boomerang onto Arkham. Arkham actually going in with the sprint, but that might be a little bit in over his head. And now Sean directly onto Konus. Konus getting the chuck down, but the stun is real. At the same time, Healing Fountain now going down. There's the root onto Konus in green. Green forced to use a Dimensional Rift to get out of there. Konus still being focused down here. Look at the burst damage onto him. Devouring Maw onto Starzuk. Actually, onto Starzuk is seen immediately. Divine Storm afterwards. There's a Shock and Awe only onto Konus, so that's not all that good. And now the fort taking quite a bit of damage here from the team of Refuse. Refuse trying to turn it around. Sergeant Hammer now coming in with the Napalm Strike, but not dealing all that much damage for now. And Team Refuse having the experience advantage right now, giving us a little bit of time to look at the talents. Or do they? Siege Camp, Siege Camp, Siege Camp gets taken. No, yes, it gets taken, but Carrion gets wiped. That was a little bit unfortunate. They lose the Siege Camp immediately. Napalm Strike, of course, coming out here. And if they can actually keep up the good work here, then they can stop this shrine from being taken. Falstad has to go to the shrine right now, because now it's too late. Yeah, this Dragon Knight is going to go over to the team of Refuse. And Mousesports falling apart, it seems, from the looks of it. And most definitely not something they expected. I mean, they were quite far ahead, but I would say that a little bit of interesting decision making is going to put them at this point. So kind of interested in how Mousesports is going to be dealing with this one. But this Dragon Knight already dealing quite a bit of damage, seeing jumping over the wall just to keep himself alive. A Pony doing as much damage as he can. The Dragon Knight getting blocked by the gate for now, so can't really land the punt. But they're trying to take down the Dragon Knight as fast as they can. Nicely done there by a Pony. Mine's coming out as well. There's the Devouring Maw onto a Pony. A Pony now in a lot of trouble. They're setting up for Ancestral Healing. The Ancestral Healing keeps him alive. The Ancestral Healing keeps him alive. And immediately it is going to be the kill onto the clone. So now it's a 5 versus 4 fight. Starzuk trying to get out of there. He has his Army of the Dead. He's going to stay alive here. The Divine Storm does go out, but it isn't going to be enough. The Haymaker going to kick Arkham right out of the fight. Arkham taking way too much damage here. Scene doesn't have anything left here. He's going to get a little bit of regeneration here as the keep finally starts fighting here. Starzuk moving in. He tries to get the stun down. Or at least tries to get into position to get the stun down. But can't quite make that happen. So all in all, a very good push for the team of Refuse. And might be able to actually turn this one around here. As in the bottom lane. A very big push coming in as well. So Mousesports now, after all this time, on the back foot. But this is kind of interesting, because you would expect that due to the reworks on on Tassadar, or rather the balancing on Tassadar, you would be left with a little bit lacking damage. But Chen immediately, well, also deals quite a bit of damage with his storm. So it's kind of curious as to how this works out. I mean, I would say that if you do not take down Zagara in this fight, if Mousesports does not focus Zagara, take her down immediately, then they're never going to be winning fights. And that might also be the reason why Zagara was actually picked up here by the team of Refuse, just because she can deal so much damage over a long period of time. Knight's now going to be fighting the other Knights here. Starzak moving in as well, just to add to the pressure here, to give his Knights a little bit of an advantage here. Skarian comes in as well, and this should allow to at least allow this wave to push the top lane with ease. To Mr. IKP, I don't know. You just have to wait for Blizzard to actually mark your account. You have to sign up for the beta opt-in program, and then once you do that, you can actually get yourself that account. It just takes a little bit of time, and you never know how long it's going to take. See, moving in, Muradin, he's pretty tanky. We'll be able to just hit everything. Kiddigash actually getting disconnected here for a few seconds, but he's back in the game, so he will be able to fight this next fight. It's very important. Actually, the Dragon Knight once again, and this is yeah, what can I say? Mousesports pretty much dropping the ball in this game. I mean, they were ahead and they just let the game slip out of their hands. Second Dragon Knight they just give away for free. When they had Kiddigash, who had the ability to just fly to a shrine and keep that one occupied for long enough that they can actually retaliate, because now this keep is going to go down. The dealing with the heroic ability, the secondary heroic abilities coming out of the team of Refuse. Divine Hurricane is here, the Twilight Archon is here, Starzak moving in here. They're trying to take down Noisen, the shotgun on to Noisen. Noisen might just go down here. That's the end of Noisen. At least that's the end of the clone. And now the fight breaks out. Arkham in a lot of trouble. He might just go down to the core. The core is trying to take down Conus. Conus cannot pop his ultimate. Mousesports is in a desperate situation here. They need to take down Conus as fast as they can before Conus actually turns himself into his ultimate. He does get himself into the ultimate, but he loses yet another one of his team members. Tassadar goes down. Now the chase is on. They're going to try and take down Conus here. If they can actually land a stun here, that would be perfect. They just need to take down one of these pandas. If they do, there's a stun. Goodbye, Conus. And this might be the perfect opportunity for Mousesports to actually get back into the game. They need to now take down a fort and a keep. They have 30 seconds of death armors on three of the members of Team Refuse. They might have their core back at 46 hit points, but there's not enough damage to take it down in one go. The opposing team will have to use the Dragon Knight to actually take it down, and this should be their perfect opportunity. They actually pick up the Storm Shield, triple Resurgence of the Storm, and Blast of Awe. So they don't want to die, and with triple Resurgence of the Storm, they are in a very good position to actually fight back against a possible push coming out of the team of Refuse here. So this fight is this battle is pretty close, and Mousesports now going to fall back to their base and get themselves into position to actually deal with the siege camp. Pony, a little bit of damage here onto the creep tomb. We're going to take that one out. Siege camp will be available in 15 seconds. Bottom bruiser camp 22 seconds, and shrines will be available in about 30 seconds as well. So that's going to be up pretty soon. Falstad should have his bribe available. And Mousesports really in a position where anything can happen right now. They were behind. They were in a position that they couldn't fight back from. But right now, with their Resurgence of the Storms, they can lose a fight and immediately come back into the battle at full health. Kiddigash now coming in. He has been spotted. There's the Psionic Storm onto the final Knight here. If Sin can get himself onto the Knight, or rather onto the Bruiser camp area before it procs, then they might be able to fight back. Still, Sergeant Hammer from the rear, dealing so much damage. Grimskull might go down. He has He has the Bolt of the Storm, is still alive. There's the Ancestral Healing of the scene, trying to stay there. The Divine Hurricane hits no one. That might be the turnaround that Mousesports is waiting for. But the Devouring Maw locks up 2 members of Mousesports. But they are the wrong members. They don't really want to be locking him, but they want to be locking up a Pony. A Pony is dealing all the damage during all this fight. And there's not all that much that Arkham can do about it. He's going to fall. And that's the end of Uther. And now with Mousesports actually getting that Resurgence of the Storm, they should be able to actually send one of their members into the top lane. Maybe take out this shrine and get themselves a Dragon Knight, or they're going to just take down the keep themselves so they can get themselves a little bit of pressure. Speaking of pressure, well, look at this lane here. It's Avatar who's just doing whatever he desires here. Carrion actually taking a little bit of damage here. But this fort is already down. This is not really the best situation for Mousesports. They're going to try and do a desperate Dragon Knight. Pony still dealing some damage to the core. Starsuk is there as well. Conan's now trying to force a Pony away from the core. He's just going to try and delay for his team. He's going to go down, but he has Resurgence of the Storm, will survive. Dragon Knight now finally here. But Noisen with a huge wave here. Triple catapult promote. But fortunately, Kittigash is here. He's an assassin. Has the Hammerang. Noisen is here with the symbiote. Will he actually go down? Noisen? The route is available for Starzerk. Yeah, it's going to be Endless Noisen. That has to be. 1 hit. 1 slow. Still trying to slow down Noisen. 1 more hit from Starzerk. They're chasing him down. The Bolt of the Storm is real. Pony coming in here. Flight from Falstad. That's the end of Abathur. At the same time, the Dragon Knight is still hammering down onto the fort. Carrion now has to be very careful, because he pretty much just used the Dragon Knight to tank up all the damage. He could have used it to stay with his team, but opted not to. But they took down Tassadar. That is, Abathur. That is a huge success for their team. They take down yet another fort. They have the pushing potential in the mid lane, but if they so desire, they can actually rush the core right now. But they have to be careful. Their opponents can do exactly the same. Core still 100% full hit points, full shield right now. It's getting taken down slowly but surely, and you can see Team Refuse is coming in. This is a big fight here. Devouring Maw coming out as well. Carrion still trying to deal as much damage as he can. Divine Hurricane trying to stop everything from happening. Kittigash just using the Blast of Awe to just try and take down the core down to 50%. This is a huge base race. If there ever was any, the 2 heroes without Resurgence of the Storm have been taken down. 36%, 30%. If Mousesports can take this one down, it's going to be very, very close. 1 more hit from Scene. That's all they need. They can't get there. They can't get there. It's down to 30%. And Sergeant Hammer only has just a few seconds to get back into the fight. Resurgence is down. And this is a horrible situation for Mousesports. They overestimated their damage potential. And Pony, he's going for the back door. He needs to be very careful. Oh, he runs into Arkham. That's the end of that back door. They're going for the base race here. Muradin trying to do as much damage to the Nightcap as he can. Pony is going to get locked up at Conus here. Arkham coming in as well. Green coming in. They have to slow down. There's the Napalm Strike actually. See now coming in. He's going to try and knock them away. There's a beautiful Haymaker. Pony's still alive. If he dies, it's game over. That is... Well... Is this game over? The core is still alive. There are no means at this point. Kona's taking quite a bit of damage here. Seen Falstad is coming back. Rhaegar is coming back. This is a very close situation here for the teams. Kittigash wants to start putting down some damage here. Gets the boomerang onto Green. Kona still alive. Here's the Divine Hurricane. The core is down to 25%. It is going to be Team Refuse who takes it down. And wow, or is it? Yeah, 2%, 1%. That's the end. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are getting ourselves onto the Blackhearts Bay, going to get ready to rock and roll. It's just taking a little bit of time, but we should be in the game in just a moment's notice. Welcome here to the WePlay HOTS Invitational. $1,000 is on the line. Winner gets 500, second place gets 300, and the remaining 200 is divided between places 3 and 4. So we are in the game. Let's pull up the overlay. And actually we don't have any music correction, any sounds. There we go. Took a little bit of time. But on the blue side we have Scene. He's playing on Muradin. Kittigash playing on Tychus. Starzerk playing on Stitches once again. Kyrian this time on Brightwing. And finally it's Sergeant Hammer being rolled by a Pony. Top lane for Red Team. Team Refuse. Noisen is playing on Falstad. Has an interesting shadow around him. Arkham, he's playing on Rhaegar, and in the bottom lane we have Canis on Arthas, Grimskull on Zagara, and finally Green playing on Thassadar. It's a 1-to-1, best of 3, and immediately it is the team of Mousesports. We're taking control of the top side of the map with their watchtower. Bottom side, Pony just setting up for a little bit of damage here. Needs one more shot to take down the creep tumor here. But can't quite make that happen, so a little bit unfortunate there, but should be fine for now. I like what the Pony is doing here, currently just dropping down all the mines that he can. But the issue is that Green is in a good position to actually take out those mines with his Oracle. You can already see how it's working out. And now Canis, he's at one of the treasure chests, so we're most likely going to see both teams just splitting the gold. 5 each. And Brightwing heading straight back to the bottom lane. Yeah, it's Carrion who is now in the bottom lane to help defend against the heavy push that Green and Grimskull are doing. So still a lot of damage being put down here. I like how Canis is already handing in his 5 coins, not risking anything. He doesn't want to get caught out. He doesn't want to lose his coins unnecessary. So smart move. Always turn in if you have the chance, if you don't have anything better to do. For now though, Kidagash and Starzerk pushing this middle lane. They've already taken down the bottom side of the turret's ammo. So that turret is going to fall in just a few seconds. Not much Arkham can do about it. He is, after all, melee, or melee, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And Starzerk and Kidagash once again falling back. So not much happening right now. Quick look at the talent says that we have shield for Brightwing, we have a bribe for Brightwing, amplified healing and heavy slam for Stitches, spray and pray for Tychus. He's going to just make his overdrive as powerful as he can. Grimskull also taking quite a bit of damage here, so just a little bit too much. Also, first easy camp being taken by Team Refuse. Same time, Maelstrom Shells, Advanced Artillery, Reverberation, Sledgehammer, Farsight, Healing Totem, Psi Infusion, Healing Wards, and Venom Spines. Zagara going for Demolitionist as well. Oh, and Green actually having enough to turn in for now. So that's 4 coins. They just need one more to actually get themselves that firing squad of a gunship there in the middle of the map. The issue though being that Pony can't really get himself into a good position to actually deal with Grimskull here. He's going to try and deal with these golems first, but well, Green and Canis, they are roaming across the map. They're going to use their gold to hand in enough coins to actually take down this entire thing except for the fort. So here you go, here's the fire. And not all that much that the team of Mousesports can do about it. This is most likely just going to be the gate, going to be the tower, going to be the well, another tower, and not all that much more than that. Canis and Green now moving to the bottom side, going to try and take the Bruiser camp here. Canis getting a good shield here, but other than that, it's not all that much. And suppose the team of Mousesports actually gets their hands on one of these shots, they immediately get the middle lane, and this is because these towers are already down, and it means that the turrets are going to be are not going to be taken down, and that means that the fort will fall. So the next hand in for Mousesports is going to be way more efficient than the last hand in coming out of the team of Refuse. So not all is lost for them yet. For now though, Noisen making his way to the top lane scene now. Going to try and clear out this little bit of creep here. Noisen is going to be jumping over to Kidagash. Kidagash has to be very careful. He is going to get locked up. Just forced to run and gun straight out there. There's the Hammerang. Deals quite a bit of damage there to Kidagash, but he has his first aid. Now Scene coming in from the side as well. There's the stun onto Arkham. Arkham going down to about 50% health. However, This is more than enough for both of them to at least force them back. And now Pony and Starzerk are going to move in towards the turn-in area. Kitagash now also coming in. Scene has opted not to go there yet. But with all this said and done, they're going to have their full turn-in. And we're going to see a nice barrage coming out of the ship's cannons. The issue though for the team is that, well, while they're doing that, while Mousesports is busy with the pirate ship, in top lane, the Grave Golem is being contested by the team of Team Refuse. Let's take a quick look at the fort here. Yeah, it's going to go down. That's for certain. I believe 2 more shots should take it down, but the Grave Golem in top lane is going to be just as effective. So, Scene has to fall back a little bit here. Still has his Haymaker, I believe. Yeah, he's going for the Haymaker again. Brightwing now coming into the top lane as well. Big fight breaking out pretty soon here. So, both teams just getting pushed on. Carrion with the Blink Heal, just trying to keep his team alive. Now, Starzerk has also moved in. And the bottom lane is Sagara versus the Hammer. Actually, Starzerk in a lot of trouble. He takes quite a bit of damage. Takes a numb out of the Grave Golem. He's going to fall there. Doesn't quite get anything done there. There's the ancestral healing onto Arkan. Arkan still alive here. Now, Scene is in a lot of trouble. Forced to jump straight out of there. The fort is going to go down. The overdrive is still spinning. But it was a quick thrill ride. And now, to make matters worse, there is a grand total of 12 coins on these guys here for Team Refuse. So, the snowball effect for Blackhearts Bay is real. And with 2 forts down in quick succession, they can actually move themselves to the middle and get that full hand in. Starzerk now trying to at least stop Konos from handing in his gold, but he knows he can't really fight them right now. Konos already having turned in half of it. There's the slam again. And it's a full 5-on-5 fight. Let's see where they can go. Another Napalm Strike. That's going to at least keep them away from the hand-in area. It's a very, very close fight. And Team Refuse, they know, okay, sure, we'll come back when you least expect it. And for the team of Mousesports, they're just going to continue to push. Napalm Strike once again by a pony. A pony, by the way. And they're making the way over to the fort. A lot of damage being put down there onto the healing fountain. Trying to take that one out as fast as they can. They can't really get there with their full push. Green now getting forced off his horse by the Napalm Strike. And Pony really wanting to start firing upon the fort. Is just in range to make that one happen though. And with the siege golems now also being taken by Mousesports, it's an interesting push here. It's very slow. Actually, the chest now spawning is a really good moment for the team of Mousesports because they're in a good position to actually take it. Although, well, Noisen is already at the other chest, so he's going to be picking that one up as well. Kitagash moving in, just going to hand in whatever he would like. He also actually has Carrion there as well. They're moving towards Noisen. Noisen finally gets all the gold, not all that much here to see for now. Green and Grimskull, they're forced to back away from this one. Noisen on the watchtower, so he's going to have full vision of whatever comes his way. Starzerk and Carrion are moving their butts over to the turn-in area. There's a 6 coin total for the team of Mousesports. Napalm Strike coming out, just a little bit of poke now. But Apony is going to be running out of mana pretty soon. Has to make something happen or fall back towards the healing fountain as fast as he can, because this is not good for Apony. Kitagash getting a little bit more gold into the bank. 8 out of 12 actually. Pony with the regeneration now going to get himself into position here. He has to be a little bit careful there. The Psystorm is going to deal some damage to him. It looks like they actually want to pick up the fight here. Noisen in a lot of trouble. There's the Odin being popped. The damage from the Shock and Awe isn't quite enough. The Devouring Maw locking up 2 members. Here's a beautiful ancestral healing. That's going to keep the target of the Odin alive. Now Scene trying to get out of there. Carrion as well. Starzerk is just doing his best to body block all the members of Refuse. Now Pony has to be very careful. Pops his booster rockets. There's Tuchel to Arkham. Arkham in a lot of trouble. Will he actually go down? He does go down. That's a lot of money there on the ground. Hola hola, get that dollar. and they managed to at least pick up 3 of those coins. But at what cost, I'm not entirely sure. Because they did lose quite a bit of ammunition on these towers here in the bottom lane. Although, they should have... Do they actually have enough money to turn in? They have 1 on Zarzurk, 1 on Carrion, and they have 2 on Scene. So they can do the full turn in if they so desire. They have taken down the bottom fort, so maybe this is the moment that they have been waiting for. Or, they wait with the hand in until the top fort is gone as well. That's also a valid strategy. They know that the top fort is going to go down. Or, well, never mind, they're just going to turn it in. So it's the full turn in. This top fort is going to fall pretty fast. And then the damage is going to be redirected to these towers here as well. So those should go down in the full barrage here. Meantime, we have a little bit of time to look at the talents as the Grave Golem is being taken. Rewind, Relentless, Lead Rain, Bullhead Mines, Burning Rage, Feral Lunge, Depressions, Mutalisk, Spell Shield, and Rewind being picked up as the talents here. And I like what Mousesports is doing here. They decide, okay, we're going all in onto these bottom turrets. They're going to get the bribe stacks as well onto these siege camps. They're getting some gold in addition to that one. So this bottom lane is getting a full push. 9 stacks here on Noisen though, so if they actually move back to the Handen area, they can actually catch Noisen by surprise. And with Konus there as well, oh, they're actually, yeah, they actually managed to get them. Starzurk, he doesn't see Konus. Konus now got spotted out. The hook doesn't land to Noisen. Noisen with the barrel roll, still trying to get out there. There's a leap. The stun is real. Yeah, it's going to be the end of Noisen. Noisen has nowhere to go. The accessory healing is just going to be enough, but there's so much damage you can put down to Noisen. He gets locked down, and that's the end of him. So many money, so many coins. So much money. Wow. Techno, please, English. Hook onto Grimskull. Grimskull gets stunned. Now he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to get chased down by Sea Starzurk and Carrion. He gets turned into... Actually, he was turned into something. I didn't quite see it. Konus, in the meantime, makes use of this little bit of a confusion to get himself a 6-coin hand in. But it is going to be Stitches who's moving towards the bottom side. Konus now has 1 coin on him. Starzurk has 5. They're going to try and take down Konus as well. Konus doesn't really have anywhere to go. The ancestral healing is already down. Tyke is doing a lot of damage here. The Army of the Dead coming out as well to try and keep Konus alive. But that's all the result of Sized Hammer not being able to get himself or herself into the fight. At the same time, there's going to be a full hand in now for the team of Team Refuse. Konus handing in 3, Archon handing in 1, and Green handing in 2. So he's going to be a juicy target for the team of Mousesports. As Refuse is going to be taking down at least this fort in the bottom lane. Bruiser Camp now being taken here by the team of Mousesports, going to put down even more pressure onto the top side of the map. Grave Golem has already been taken down by a pony. But this bottom lane is going to fall most likely to the cannonballs, or it might or might not. 1, 2, yeah, that's the end. So now they have about 12 coins to hand in. There's Starzurk, he's moving in. The entire both teams are near the coin hand in area. Scene. Oh, that's the fishing hook being picked up by Starzurk here. Scene tried his best to get the hand in down. There's a long range bailing toss there. But still, both teams, they're feeling each other out. But the issue is that because of the mercenaries that are in the lanes, it is Refuse who has to make a play happen. Our pony is trying to get himself into a proper position to make the siege tank happen. There's the Devouring Maul to the Odin. That's a really bad situation for the Odin, but the Odin is still alive. Grimskull getting smacked straight out of the fight, but that's not really the one they want to be smacking out of the fight. They want to get onto the Archon, and Killigash is doing his best to take down Noisen. They can't quite get there. And now they have to fall back. Fortunately for Mousesports, they don't have the full gold for a turn enough, I believe. 5, 3, 2, 3, 1. That's 14. Yeah, they actually have the full turn in if Archon decides to turn in as well. But Napalm Strike is going to stop the turn in for now. There's Brightwing coming in again. Carrier now, full health, back into the fight. The Slowing Totem has come out. The Napalm Strike being used to actually force the team of Refuse away from this point. And I love how Mousesports is just dragging out this fight to make sure that this night camp is moving into the proper direction. This middle keep is going to fall to the barrage. There's the full hand in. If we're looking at the talents that have been picked up, it's Criterize for Brightwing, the fishing hook coming out of Stitches, Tychus with another grenade, a Stone Skin, Dwarf Launch, Lightning Bond, Dimensional Warp, Blood Expansion, Stone Skin, and of course Overdrive. So another six shots onto the keep should be able to actually take this one down. Yeah, that should be enough. Not with the shield though. Or it actually is enough. So now the keep is going to go down. Rhaegar actually getting caught out here. A little bit unfortunate for him. But if we're looking at Stitches, he has picked up the Foul Bowl. Okay, interesting choice. Usually with the fishing hook you get the Gorge to try and take someone out of the fight. But in this case it is not what Starzerg really wants. They're going to get themselves a siege camp in the bottom lane. And they're going to continue their push. They have all their ultimates available. Both teams have their ultimates available actually. But there's a little bit of a wave pushing here with the knights in the top lane. Now, with Mousesports onto the keep, and Starzerg having six coins. Actually, I would expect Carrion, Scene, and Kittigash to actually go for the hand-in right now. But his keep is already taking quite a bit of damage here. Siege Giants should be able to take it down with ease. Or at least a Napalm Strike. The treasure chests are back online. And yet another keep going into the hands of the team of Mousesports. For now, Mousesports rolling over to this treasure chest, and they should have the full hand-in available. They don't quite have enough to... well, they have enough to do a full hand-in, but they really need to be careful because this wave is stacking up. This keep, well, it does have a support tower, but that might not be enough. That's something they have to be very careful about. The advantage that they have, though, is that they have so many coins that they can go for a double hand-in. Hand everything in, go back to base, and hand everything in once again. So now it's onto the middle keep. This should survive easily. Immediately the rotation to the top lane to try and take down this Grave Golem here for the team of Refuse. But it's going to be quite interesting whether Mousesports wants to be fighting here. I'm expecting them to actually go straight towards the hand-in point and just say, okay, you can have the Grave Golem, but we'll have two hand-ins instead. And that's a very fair trade. Actually, they decide to just stay here for a little bit longer. They need to get onto their horses pretty fast if they want to get there in time to immediately get the hand-in done. Because their opponents are in position to actually push this keep. Speaking of this keep here, it's already taking a little bit of damage. There's the full hand-in. Starzerg and Kittigash should be more than enough for the full hand-in. Actually, they need to start hardstoning right now if they want to be able to fight back. Grave Golem onto the first tower here. Now onto the keep. The keep is going to be falling. This might be a base race as well, together with the Grave Golem. But the damage... Oh! Noisen actually gets pulled straight into the Hall of the Storm. But it isn't enough. Shields now taking quite a bit of damage there from the Grave Golem. There's the shotgun on to Pony and Scene. A lot of damage being put down here. The heroic abilities are going to be in effect right now. Stitches gets taken out, and so much damage for the team of Team Refuse. Ancestral Healing coming out of the Noise, and Devouring Maw onto the Odin. The Odin is now taken out of commission. Conus taken dangerously low. The core down to 30%. Refuse is going to take this one home. Or are they? Noise and so low. Conus might go down. One raise on the Conus. The core at 9%. The core is at 9%, and this is exactly what they need. They have the gold to immediately turn it around. They have 6, and 4. Is that enough? Is that enough gold? That's 16. No, it's not enough. They have to rush the core itself. If they want to do anything, they need to do it now. Artis at the same time is moving towards the top lane. They're going to try and deal with it like that, but oh, this is one heck of a base race. Artis doing his best to actually get into position to fight, but he's too late. The shields have already regenerated, and it is Mousesports who turns it around at 9% core health. Although Conus is now here as well. He's going to try and deal as much damage as he can. There are no minions to actually soak up the damage from the core. However, There are also no minions for the team of Refuse to actually defend against Mousesports. Neither are their heroes. It's Mousesports who, with an amazing turnabout win, take home the best of 3 series between them and Team Refuse. Congratulations!